Welcome to the Creativity, Thinking, and Education podcast with your host, Patricia Rose Upsack. Today, we are going to continue an absolutely fascinating conversation with Mary Reynolds on the whole primary thing about, well, it's not primary. We're going to talk about secondary now, but it's kids' color personality styles and how to get kids to do what you want, when you want them to do it. And I can't wait. Hello, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. It is so nice to talk to you. Yes.
Yeah.
So you were about to tell us about the secondary colors of the personality styles?
Right. And so, these factors all come into play, and you're just trying to get your kid to do what you've asked them to do without any lip or any resistance back at you. But what we're not understanding is we're coming at our kids with our own personality styles. And parents will say, and teacher will say, well, I can work just perfectly fine with so-and-so and so-and-so. Well, that's because their style is probably most like your own. And so, the communication is very easy with someone of your color style, if that's all you're paying attention to. And it can be that easy with all the other styles, but you're going to have to make an effort to get your mind around this information and then apply it. Generally when people hear this, they already make those adjustments. But I want to be, even more specific with you about that. It feels counterintuitive at first, but the more you practice it, the more you do it, the more it becomes intuitive. Now, in working with 20,000 people in a 2-year time period, I started to notice that there was this second color style, the importance of this second color. So when you take the PSP test, you get to see all 4 colors, and you get to see your strongest one, your second, your third, your fourth. Okay. Well, one of the things that I realized was that the secondary color was really having more of an impact in how people were able to communicate with each other, and most importantly, how they felt about themselves. So if you have a predominant color, say let's say a blue, and your secondary color is a red, this can create an internal conflict, because remember, reds are real direct, they're by the bullet, they're by the book, they're kind of the, your rules guy, and then you got your blue who's always soft and really cares and never so nice all the time, and this and you got, 2 colors close together like that, and you don't understand yourself, you feel kind of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. In fact, people may even tell you that. You may even see this in your children. And this becomes problematic in families or in classrooms because we don't know who we're dealing with, because we haven't learned how to pay attention to which style is leading in any given moment. And what style is leading is dependent on what life is demanding of that person in that moment. So
right.
What I want people to understand about color styles is that they're fluid, okay?
Uh-huh.
They're fluid. It's not like this is in stone and that's the way it is, and so you just have to, it's a very fluid experience, and I want people to experience, because they're going to have so much more joy. And the other thing is that you can have much more fun playing with this. But about these secondary colors, so a yellow and a green, for example, let's say your top color is green, okay, and you have a lot of green. Let's say you scored really high on that, but your yellow score was pretty darn close to that. So the internal conflict that goes on around that is the green wants to get it done, and then we can go play. The yellow is saying, no, let's go play, let's go play.
Right.
That's where I'm really creative, and then we can put it into a system. And so you see, we have this internal dialogue going on. Then we're trying to communicate to somebody else or our kids, and if this is all going on in the brain, we're not getting through.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
However, if I recognize that in a child, if I recognize it, number one, in myself, okay, and I I go to myself and I say, well, how would I like to be treated in this moment? Then we know how to treat our children. Okay. So it's about leading with wherever they are. Okay. So if you got a kid who's all worried about a system and getting the system and doesn't have the system, then that's the conversation you need to sit down and have, and to find solutions to that the kid gets involved with coming up with. So you are not going to be a talking head anymore. And a talking head is someone who just comes at you about what you should know how to do, and you should be doing it, and why aren't you doing it, and how many times have I told you? So that's a talking head. And yes, I don't know of too many human beings on the planet that don't shut that down, and certainly children do that, right? I mean, we would both agree on that.
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to learn about the styles in their pure form, then how they come together as combos. I like that term, combo. And then I found out there were basically 7 life areas. So people will take off their color style hats based on, as I've said before, what life is demanding. Now, how that comes into play in the adult world is we got your work, or with children, it would be school. So we got that hat. We got your home hat. We got your management hat. We got your sales hat. We got your love, sex, and money hat. We got your parenting and teaching hat. And then we've got your tween and teen. Okay, so there's 7 life areas. And so what we look at to understand more of is from any one of these situations, what it feels like to be there, what it feels like, smells like, tastes like, and how this person wants and needs you to treat them, so the communication can be two-way. So without taking this into account, it's a one-way conversation.
Okay.
Unless if it's somebody of your own style and you don't think anything about it. And yes, that's a two-way. 2 people can get together and gab their brains out. Where communication breakdown happens is in one-way communication. It's just going one way. All right. And so let's say we have a child acting out. Let's say we have a child really upset. They are totally in their predominant style. And you coming at them from your predominant style or what you prefer and if it's a different style than yours, probably going to have a big blow up. Okay. Because you're not sitting back and taking a moment to say, what color is my kid into right now? Okay. And some colors are more volatile than others. Red, for example. But let's talk about a blue, for example. Here is where we would generally see a kid collapse and cry because you're coming at them too hard. That doesn't mean you can't have rules with those kids. It just means that you have to think about what it's like to be in their bodies.
Right.
So the technique that I came up with is called, that I found very effective, is known as matching and mirroring. It was created by 2 neurolinguistics.
Oh, right. NLP.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was NLP, and that was Grindler and Bandler. Okay. So, but from that, matching and mirroring, so if you're talking with a yellow, they're sitting up, their arms are wide open, they're more relaxed, but you're a red and you're just kind of really clenched up and firm. You've got to open up your arms a little bit, sit back and relax, okay? Because it's going to be a long ride. It's going to be, for you, it's going to be a long ride because you like to have everything bulleted. But if the yellow is the person having the problem and you're not getting through to the yellow, you've got to dial in their wavelength. You got to dial in some yellow. The matching and mirroring is about how you match their voice, their tone, their physiology. Mm-hmm. My terminology is dialing in, because I think it helps us think, okay, I've got a little dial here. I'm going to turn it a little bit more to the right, or I'm going to turn it a little bit more to the left, whatever's going to get me to the yellow, okay? And then I'm going to just take a moment and observe how they are, and then I'm going to, as unconspicuously as I can, match that.
Right.
So you don't want to be obvious about it. So let's say, for example, it's as simple as them having their legs crossed. Well, then you just cross your legs.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Because when you're matching physiology, and you're matching tone. Now, let's say that we have a red that's really angry. Well, you're not going to really match that. You're not going to be really angry. But what you are going to match is you're going to sit up straight with your shoulders back and act like you know who you are. Because reds always know who they are. And even if they're angry, you don't match the anger, but you match the bulleting, okay? And you kind of firm up your tone. All right?
Okay.
You don't come at them. You just kind of hold your space.
Right.
And there's no attack here. And if you attack them and make it about what they're doing wrong, now you got a big problem. Things will escalate. Things will become, that's inflammatory. That's not what I'm talking about in matching and marrying.
Right.
You want to match the essence of who they are, what they value. Now, blues tend to, be bent over a little bit, not really good eye contact. So you don't want to glare into a blue's eyes, okay?
Right.
Especially children. I mean, you can stand right beside them, both of you looking away, and have a very intimate communication. And when they look at you a little bit, you look at them a little bit and look away. And however they do that, you do that. Because otherwise you're too intense.
No, I actually was thinking about, especially my experience as a teacher, and I used to see, I was a resource room teacher, so I worked with kids who were very bright, but they only came to see me like once a day, and they were in the regular high school program. And I would watch all the different interactions between their regular teachers and my students, and actually everything you've just described, I used to see happening with their communication. And so now I had other labels for it, but now I can see where it was just the whole color communication was different.
Yeah. So what I love about colors is that it simplifies. And the other thing I love about colors is while it is still labeling, it is kind of open-ended labeling. So much of what the labeling is the trending diagnoses that are out there, the labels that are out there are just, oh my gosh. I mean, there's just so much that is so limiting and so hurtful. And while I recognize and accept that colors are labels, they seem to lighten up, and people will be more apt to think expansively about a color than they are, let's say, an ADD, ADHD, special ed, ED, SED, STD.
And, the thing that's interesting about all of that was, I was a resource room teacher for 23 years. And a lot of the students that I had at the very beginning of my experience had pretty much every label you can imagine. They were very bright and they were antsy and they couldn't focus. And then later on in my career, it got to the point where, people were labeling them all kinds of things. But I'd look at these kids and I'd think, well, they have the same behaviors as the kids before. So I pretty much ignored the labels. But what I did do was I tried very hard to help them. I would say, it's like you're slamming your head into a brick wall. Let's see if we can find your door so you can just turn the knob and open it and walk through. And that would be like the learning styles things. But what I did was I tried really hard to help them create or find it and discover it themselves, because then they owned it, and then they figured out ways. So then they even started talking to their teachers and saying, well, maybe my learning style and your teaching style are different. Maybe we could talk about this. Well, for me, that was just wonderful that they actually had those words, and could learn to communicate,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that brought up something to mind here is that I haven't really talked about how this works with learning styles, but it's all interrelated. And in the PSP reports, where you get a full report for $9.95, and it can be anywhere from 20 pages to 45 pages long, depending on what your color combo was and what life area it was that you picked. But here's the thing, is that I also explain learning styles associated with your color combo or your kid's color combo. The other thing I will say is that I have a different test for K4, 512, and then the rest of them are all adult tests.
That's wonderful.
So I have a test just for, and then the report is geared toward what they're experiencing and working through in high school. And so this dialing in stuff is all in the report so that you know what your color combo is, and then how you're going to work and dial in other people's colors. So all of that is in this report. That's how important this is.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and so we're not writing, a 300 page book here. I want people to have success right away. I want them to start owning their lives and just sitting up and putting their shoulders back and feeling like I can be in this situation and I can now see it differently. So that means that I can dial in what might be going on for them, utilizing what's important to them, what they value, and stop doing what I've been doing. So for a blue and a red, for example, a blue thinks that the red should really care. The red is not going to really care, okay? So let's just get over that, okay? What does the red value? Bullet points. What did the blue value? Let's talk about our feelings and how important it is and how you matter. So they get brushed off by the red, right? And they're not taken seriously by red. But if you sit up straight with your shoulders back and match that red, okay, and just give them the information they need and then turn around and get out of there, you are going to establish a much higher productivity, better relationship all the way around. And then the red will start treating you like someone they have regard for. So let's understand, right now they don't have any regard for you because they just don't.
Right.
And you can take it personally, you can feel bad about yourself, you can cry yourself asleep at night, but until you make the change, it's probably not going to change.
Right.
And same way with your kids. So we have a red child and a blue parent. Do you see the problem here?
Oh, yeah.
The blue parent says to the red child, do you want to brush your teeth? And the red says, no, I don't. The red kid says no and blows the parent off.
Right.
Okay, so the blue has to think, okay, red, bullet it. It's time to brush your teeth. Get in there and do it now. And then walk out the door and don't apologize. Okay?
Exactly, right.
So you see, and the red will go, all right. So you see.
The reason I'm laughing is because there have been moments, and I just, we'll just leave it at there have been moments where I'm supposed to be like handling a variety of children and getting things done, and we're supposed to be leaving and blah, blah, blah. And invariably, one of them will like not want to do whatever. And I don't think my style is even remotely red, except for I got to get out the door and we're moving, and I will do exactly what you just said. It's like, brush your teeth. I don't want to hear it, and walk out the door. It's, it's kind of like, move.
And you build my neuroplasticity point perfectly, which is It's there.
It's there.
We can reach for it. It may not be where we like to go, but it's there.
Right.
And we can reach for it in our minds, and sometimes life demands that we reach for it.
Right.
And so, so that's a really important piece. So you kind of see why we're not getting through.
Right.
And so I do have a program called Synergize Your Life, where I have covered each of these 7 life areas on purpose, because each PSP that goes along with each, so you get like 10 or 20 PSPs when you buy the Synergize Your Life program.
Okay. For our audience, will you explain PSPs?
Personality, style, profile. That's your report.
Okay. Good. Thanks.
Okay. So they're $9.95. Of course, unless if you buy them in quantity. So like if you're an educator, a principal, administrator, and you want to buy one, then the quantities, it gets down to like cents, the more you buy. Okay. But with the Synergize Your Life program, you get 20. And so you can take whichever ones you want and give them to whoever you want. So let's say you have a family, you want everybody and relatives, and you want everybody to take it just so that you're all on the same page and you have the same conversation about what needs to happen next. Then I go through each of the 7 life areas and how not only is what your predominant, and see when you take, let's say love, sex, and money, for example. Well, your predominant color can be different. And most often it is different. And so what you need to know is what you lead with.
Right.
Okay. And then again, your primary, your secondary, and then how to dial in each of the other 4 styles. So you're successful in those areas, and gives you just food for thought, how to start seeing more than you're seeing right now. You're just seeing things from your predominant and secondary color. Okay. You're just seeing things your way. And with a little bit of information, and of course there's MP3 audios. You can bring me along with you, download me, bring you along on the ride to work, on your walks, on your exercise. Oh yeah. It's a very comprehensive program. I think there's like 25 hours of listening. But when you hear it enough times, you're going to see it. And until you give your life a moment to see something differently, you're not going to get anything differently. And, I've tried to make it fun and light and humorous. You hear me working on some of these audios. I did one-on-one and group coaching, so you get to hear what other people are processing through. I did this because it is so important and can shift. I used to do family counseling, and these people would come in and they would just spell out these horrible situations that were going on. And within, I think the max I worked with any family was 4 times, because my goal was not to get them dependent on me. My goal was to get them functional and out the door. And that's where all this material came from and where things started lining up. So the thing is, I call it my DIY, do it yourself. Come on, people. You don't have to suffer like this.
I love that.
Don't wait for somebody else's approval. And if you're a blue and you think you need somebody's permission to buy this would be a great time to step up and say, you know what? It's time for me to stop suffering. And I'm suffering coming at people all the time from my value system instead of from what theirs is,
Right.
And just because it's intuitive to me, it's natural, it's normal. Remember that the more you learn and take it in, listen to it repeatedly, it changes your eyesight. It changes your ability to see. So, let's look at my ability to see right now. My ability to see is vast. when it comes to behaviors in kids, because I had a high-level at-risk population in every school I ever taught in, and I got a success rate of 2.5 to 3 grade point averages on the Stanford Achievement Test results. Why? Because of the things that I did differently in my classrooms that other teachers just didn't reach for, okay?
Right.
And I've spent my life's work trying to get across to teachers that you need to reach for it.
Yes.
Okay. And that means new information that you don't have. And for anybody that says, I already know that, if you already know that, then the question
doing
is,
it?
are you doing it? Number one, and number two, have you really gone in depth?
Right.
Because if it's still not working, it's because you haven't gone far enough with it.
Right. Now,
something like personality styles.
Yeah, I do have, just because we're running out of time, and I really don't want us to wrap this up without talking about and asking you a little bit about on your website, and I don't know which one, so it might be under the main one that you were talking about. You can say it again before we leave. But Connecting with Colors movie, could you talk about that a little bit, please?
The Connecting with Colors movie, the movie about the different color styles? Or?
Well, I think so. It says the process of, if people haven't been to your website, I was just blown away by all of the wonderful movies and all of that they could watch the movies, they can take the test, they can purchase the movies. I mean, you have so much, and it's just amazing. I mean, really amazing. And it says the process of connecting with colors is simply about understanding who you are in relation to the other types of personality styles around you, then mirroring and matching your way to success. Watch the movie as many times as you need. Is there anything else other than that you'd like to say about the movie?
Well, you're right. I do have a lot of movies.
You do, and they're really wonderful.
I have 30 movies. We have a movie page, and some of them are inspirational. When it comes motivational, spiritual, you've got to understand this is 35 years of my life's work. So,
right.
The color style movie is basically showing you a picture of what each color looks like without telling you what the colors are, and just as an invitation for you to take the free test. But I'm trying to think, I'm so sorry, I'm not sure what page you're on for.
Right after it says the next movie is What Can I Say When I Talk to Myself movie, my best self. And then after that, it's the Eagle Parable movie.
Oh, okay. You are on the movie page then.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's at the Make a Difference site, / and if you just go / write movies after that, you'll get there. But also on Make a Difference, there's buttons, and it says movies. So you just click on that.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. For anybody listening, it is well worth browsing this page because it looks like I wanted to buy them all. It was just like, oh yes, this is so wonderful. Now I have 3 more of the color movies. So the one that's on that page actually is for adults. But I do have, so we made one for K4, one for 5-12, and one for teachers. So it's the same movie, only with the visuals being, the pictures being those age ranges and adult. So the one on that movie page is really it's kind of mainstream. It's where I started with this program many years ago. And then when I started developing this down to kids and getting the results we really want for our children, both as students or as our own kids, so I developed the other ones. Now, in the Synergize Your Life program, for example, you get all of the movies. Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, you get all of that. Everything imaginable is included.
Now, if they're interested in finding the Synergy program, is that on the same website? Make a Difference.
So it's at the Connecting. Well, it is, but it's difficult to get there. So just go to the Connecting with Colors.
Okay, Connecting
with Colors. So so the Synergize Your Life is for everyone who just wants their life better. Now, if it's an educator and they want to go out and do this themselves, or let's say an administrator wants to bring it in, for a faculty meeting, he would want to go, he or she, I'm so sorry I said it that way, she or he might want to, I think then you want to go with the Connecting with Colors You Train program, because that has a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay. So the full presentation for, K4 presentation, 512 presentation, teacher presentation. You also get the public presentation. You get it all. And all of the PowerPoints, it's all laid out. And all you have to do is hook it up and just click through, read what's on the screen, and you can deliver it. So that is for the person who really wants to get this in front. And you get a bunch of PSPs, personality style profiles with that. So that it's a package. So, and there's a list of everything that comes with that package and a workbook. You get your leader's manual. And this is for the person who just really wants to get their faculty and staff on the same page.
This has been so wonderful, and unfortunately we're running out of time. But hopefully maybe again sometime in 2017 we can have you back, because you know so much. And we've just, like you said, we've just touched the tip of the iceberg. So if you're willing to come back again sometime in 2017, I would love to interview you again.
Well, just put me on your calendar.
Thank you.
I never
so
seem to run
much.
out.
Oh, no, you're wonderful. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining me here at the Creativity, Thinking, and Education podcast. Please visit us at happyteachershappystudents.com. And if you find value in this podcast and the message we are trying to spread, then click the subscribe button and give my show a review. I am so excited to be able to share the timeless awareness of all of our guests, especially Mary. Mary Reynolds is really a master teacher for all of us. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.